Hello and welcome back everybody to Insert Stupid Pun Here, also known as Everlasting Summer. So, we tried to find where what Alisa and Lena are arguing about. I am really interested how different this will be from the way the Alisa route went. But we'll see. Only Lena and Alisa stood out in all the splendor. Well, obviously, of course, we will end up with Lena, but I mean, the whole story. If it will be the same, Lena is going to the island, we drag Alisa along so she can apologize to Lena and stuff like that. But we'll see, Well, of course, it was quite natural for Alisa to be arguing with someone like that. But hearing Lena talk in a raised voice, I came closer silently, trying to find out what was going on. No, you listen to me. I'm not going to listen to anything. Really? Great then. Alisa turned away and her eyes met mine. At first she obviously was confused about what was going on, but then... So you're eavesdropping. What? Me? No. She began slowly advancing on me, and I took a few steps back. Lena, however, remained standing where she was. Well, okay then, listen. Alisa stopped halfway and turned back to Lena. By the way, did you know he was peeping on you? On me, or something like that? Okay, so far it's pretty much the same. Peeping and he saw everything. Can I skip that? I mean, I probably can't, but it's the same dialogue. Okay. Oh wait, that was different. Whoops. But really, why do I have such a pathological desire to exonerate myself before Lena? As though I vitally need her opinion of me to remain unchanged. Though, how would I know what she is thinking? It didn't happen! Lena threw a baleful look at Alisa and raised her eyes to me right after that. Eyes full of discomfort and hope. It suddenly became unbearable to stare into these eyes. It didn't happen, I repeated less confidently. Well, whatever. Alisa sneered from behind me. It's up to you to decide who to trust. Oh, so in this version he's lying to Lena. In the Alisa version he said, yeah, but it was an accident. And here he says, nope, never happened. I see. She said to Lena offhandedly, then turned away and headed to the bonfire. Is that true? I felt uncomfortable, like a fish out of water, feeling the urge to end this as fast as possible. And why should I have to excuse myself to her? Well, so what if it did happen? I looked at Lena boldly, but noticed only a bright sunset gleam reflected in a tear, which was going down her cheek. No, I meant... Wow. That was really uncool once again, Semyon. That was really uncool again. You don't need to lie. She wiped off her tears and tried to smile. After all, it's none of my business. No, why isn't it? But why is it? It's just that well, it was an accident, get it? An accident which was caused by Ulyana, nothing more. Yeah, sure. It's true. I believe you. No, she doesn't. Lena was saying everything with absolutely no emotion, like she didn't care at all about what was going on. I was almost able to believe it, but her tears a few seconds ago... It seems to me that you don't. What is this? Some kind of game? Lena said quietly, but there was a hint of anger in her tone. You really need to convince me of that? And even if I believed you, what then? Would it all become true? I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I just want you to understand that I'm not guilty, and didn't want to. Why should I care at all? Lena shouted. I was standing with my back to the bonfire, but I was sure that all the pioneers had turned in our direction. Sorry. If you want to peep at someone, do it! Do whatever you want! But why do you bother me? I am not... But really, from any point of view, it looked that way. I'm trying to excuse myself to Lena, with no success. Like a guilty child, or maybe even like a husband who had slipped up. Who had slipped up? Does that mean he cheated on his wife? Is this some kind of slang I don't know? Well, I'll look it up later. Just so you know, I don't care. Lena turned away and headed back to the camp at a fast walk. That is very different, okay. But I like it. This seems a very reasonable reaction. Not a reasonable, I mean, of course, Simeon isn't lying and all that stuff. So Lena's in the wrong, no doubt about it. But it seems like a realistical and kind of logical reaction. You know what I want to say? I didn't try to stop her. No, it certainly wasn't the best solution. She's on the edge. No attempts to convince her or appeal to reason would help. Since when is she like that? Screaming that way, getting mad. With these thoughts in my mind, I returned to the bonfire and sat down on a wooden log. So, Alisa asked after seating herself nearby. What? Not a great success, huh? As you see, I growled out while picking up the coals with a stick. It grew completely dark, and the glade was plunged into darkness. The surrounding landscape was reminiscent of a picture from a child's book about a wood monster. An unknown forest creature just about to spring out from behind the tree. Predatory owls hoot menacingly in tree branches. Even mice look out from snacks, stare at you with distrust. I was not afraid at the moment. Everything was different from the previous day when I was in the dungeon at the old camp. The moon was shining brightly, paying close attention to our brave troop. The world was sleeping, waiting for the morning, bathing in the moonlight. As I thought it was expected. But why? I finally managed to pick up the largest burning log and throw it into the center of the fire, causing the flames to rise about a meter high and a vortex of sparks to spread out in all directions. And now, usually Olga should actually hit you with a brick on your head, because that is fucking dangerous. But hey, it's just me. Olga is not that strict with you anyway. She should be stricter with you. Does Lena often behave like that? How? Screaming at others. I couldn't believe she would act in such a way. She is human, like anyone else. Alisa giggled. As if you hadn't noticed this before. Yeah, Simeon, as if you hadn't noticed this. What hadn't I noticed? Her. What do you mean? I mean, this is her true face. What do you mean, true face? Oh, you are so stupid. Yes, you are. Finish what you started. She's not what she seems like. Not like how you thought of her before. So, how is she? Okay, I'm sick of this. Yeah. Oh boy. Simeon, you're a slow motherfucker. Alisa stood up, intending to leave. I didn't say anything, just sat and listened to the silence of the forest. By the way, if you want to follow her, I think she's on the island. On what island? The one where you were gathering strawberries today. And what is she doing there? Ah, you really are an idiot. This is like really the first time in this game that Alisa really has reasons to be pissed off at him. I mean, okay, in her own route, she also had reasons to be pissed off at him, you know, but here it seems very reasonable to say, man, you're so stupid. Alisa stomped the ground, circled the campfire and sat opposite. I must have really lost track of things. My head was absolutely blank. To be precise, it was so heavy and full so that not even a single idea would have the chance to dwell there. If I would compare my brain at its prime, okay. Told you I'm not gonna read this sentence one more time. Also, it's really strange that it is in every route. I tried to think over what happened, analyzed it somehow, but it seemed I was bashing against an invisible wall. Moreover, it was impossible for me to find a single emotion in my soul, any response, as if it had all happened to someone else. I failed to convince Lena that I'm not guilty. Should I care? Lena cried, screamed, and then left. So what? Excuse me. I hope I don't get a cold. I mean, like if there is one worse thing, having a cold in the winter, then it's a cold in the summer. A summer cold, especially now it's so unbelievably hot. Well, let's hope for the best. I don't feel anything about it. Should I? I bit my lip until it bled and stood up. I couldn't bear to stay here among these laughing pioneers. I should run away. It doesn't matter where to. To the forest, to the mine, even to space, I don't care. Just as long as I can get far away from here. I seized a moment when the camp leader was looking in the other direction and vanished into the forest shadows. There had been no rain for a long time. However, I'm not sure whether it rains here at all. What a stupid idea. Stupid. What a stupid idea. What a stupid idea. Of course it does. The plants need some moisture. The night was fresher than the afternoon, but the air still hadn't had enough time to cool. I felt a little dizzy from the evening's stuffiness. Suddenly, I realized that I really wanted to swim. It's quite a normal desire because the days are hot and you constantly feel soaked with sweat during the daytime. So let's see if Lena's drowning him. Probably not. I didn't even notice that I'd been approaching the pier. Why not the beach? Thoughts of Lena came over me again. Everything that I tried to ignore came out and brought lots of inconvenient questions, inappropriate answers, and vague desires. It was obvious that I had been led to the pier by my subconsciousness. But what do I really want? To apologize to her for something, to convince her of something. No, unlikely. I just wanted to get some sort of reaction from her. Wanted her to say, "Yes, I understand everything," and just smile. And then I could stop myself from feeling like that. You have not yet understood that she is the crazy person in this version of the game? Yes, you did not understand that yet? Semyon, I thought you were an anime watcher. She will go crazy, I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now. I hope she has good reasons, though. Oh, whoops, I think I skipped that sentence. It was necessary for me to be understood by someone, even in this world. I untied the boat, pushed it into water, got in and took up the paddles. It was easier to row this time. My hands were still hurting, but I managed to develop some sort of technique that allowed me to travel quite directly. The river seemed frozen, spreading under the boat like a translucent veil. The moonlight was piercing deep into the water, so it was almost possible to see the bottom. I started rowing. Row, row, row the boat. Surprisingly, the island now seemed the same as it did in the daytime. Here usually everything is different. After dusk it felt like another world, a mystery world. Scary at times, but beautiful in its own way. A world of shadows and whispers, a nocturnal world. I slowly walked around the island, looking for the boat which Lena took to come here. The grass softly rustled under my feet, the occasional waves peacefully struck the shore, and bounced back like flies too tired from beating on the glass. The breeze from the water lazily stirred the leaves on the trees, out of habit rather than a real desire to make night grooves sing. I looked at this wonderful picture with such delight that I didn't even notice something until I stumbled into it. It was a boat. Well, of course. She wouldn't get here by swimming. I headed towards the center of the island. After 100 meters, I heard a rustling from behind a tree. "Don't come any closer," Lena whispered. I hesitated. "Don't come any closer," she said louder. How did you know it's me? Though she hadn't indicated that she'd known that. All right. That is actually pretty cool. I like that picture. I like the idea. I mean, to be fair, I often complain that every stereotype in the book is used. This is also pretty much a stereotype. But still I like it. It fits the situation. I leaned against the tree, trying not to look behind it. Alisa told me that you would be here. So what? It was difficult for me to know what emotions Lena was experiencing. Her voice was steady enough, even though I could read irritation and annoyance in it. I could not understand whether she was angry or whether it was all the same to her. That came out awkward. I was doing my best to avoid unnecessary apologies and excuses, but couldn't find other words to use instead. Was that the only reason you came? No. Well, I don't know. You don't know, but you still came? Yes. You shouldn't have. Why? Of course, if I'm bothering you. Why are you following me? She was right. It certainly looked that way. Moreover, I definitely felt attracted to her. You shouldn't think like this. How should I think? I don't know. I can only draw conclusions based on your behavior. I really don't know. I guess I'd better go. I was confused, and it was hard just to be near her. Why? Since you came? I seemed to hear a playful tone in her voice. Alright. And? What? What did Alisa tell you? Nothing special. I see. Yeah. Well then. Yep. We just stayed silent for a while. Since you came, tell me about something. Well, I don't know. For example, what happened this morning? What about what happened this morning? You know. You yourself didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to, but now I want to. Don't want to be sexist, but women logic. Lena's voice trembled. I couldn't understand what was happening at all anymore. Maybe it's not her behind the tree. Don't look. Okay. Okay. But what is wrong? Nothing. Just don't look. Ah. So is this some kind of hint? Or is it really just Lena not wanting him to see her right now? I don't know. Alright, as you wish. So, nothing happened? Well, something did, but it was all just a silly accident. And why are you so worried about what I think about it? I am not worried. And anyway, you yourself, I said louder, beginning to feel irritated. What about me? Why are you so concerned about this situation? Who said that I'm concerned about this situation? Then what? Nothing. She said in a whisper and fell silent. Such talk would lead us to nowhere. Lena won't say anything, and I seem to be too stupid to guess, or even just to be sure about myself. Sorry, I guess it's all my fault. I just cannot understand. Why? What? Why do you keep apologizing? For everything. For what you did, for what you are doing, even for what you haven't done yet. But maybe she was right, but I couldn't behave differently. I felt the need to apologize to her, to everyone. So they would not think badly of me, wouldn't laugh at me. So I couldn't put away something unsaid and eliminate misunderstandings. Anyway, that is your business. Lena got angry. Apologize, make excuses. Why should I care? Okay, well, I'm not guilty. In fact, I don't think I could be blamed for anything. But then what's wrong? What is wrong with you? Why would something be wrong with me? I don't know, I just think so. Oh, you just think so? She laughed. You speak as if you know me. I did not answer. Please leave, Lena said after a while. I didn't move, just could not. Had no strength to do so. I wanted nothing at that point. Didn't want to excuse myself, to apologize. I didn't even want her understanding. I was too tired of everything. Why? Just leave, she whispered. I don't want to. Then I'll leave. Let's just go together. No. How long are you going to be offended? By what? What is wrong with you? Everyone here behaves normally, except you. I beg to differ, but okay. I did not care what my words meant, as if they had been said by someone else and the topic of conversation meant nothing. You really don't understand anything. Alisa was right. About what? Never mind. I closed my eyes to think it over. No, I can't go. I don't understand, don't know what to think, what to do. And since when did I stop worrying about my situation in this world, or how to get back? Since when was the only thing I could think about Lena, or how others would look at me, or how my actions look from the other side? It's just stupid, and it's not like me. In fact, it is inappropriate in this situation. In short, I didn't do anything, and don't intend to justify these things which I didn't do. There was no reply. Hey, do you hear me? Yeah, of course she left when he closed his eyes. This is something that happens quite often in this game. I finally decided to see who was actually hiding behind the tree, but no one was there. So she left. I rushed over to Lena's boat, but she was already far away, almost near the pier. That was really a good scene. You know what I mean? It's not like... I'm saying way too much, you know what I mean. This is like, I say that at least 4 times per episode. It's annoying myself, but I can't help myself. But this was really, really good. You could grasp the tension. You could understand the drama. It was not like something they made up out of thick air or something like that. It's not like drama for the reason of having drama. It was like a drama that could really happen, you know? And also how they behaved. This seemed very, very understandable for teenagers, at least, you know? That was really good. Oh Jesus, I hope this one is really, really good. As good as this scene was. I really liked that one. I rushed over to Lena's boat, but she was already far away, almost at the pier. Yeah, I read that. Whatever! I shouted, and walked along the shore. I got back relatively quickly, without much trouble. However, my hands still ached terribly, and my eyes were closing themselves. Probably such a physical and, more importantly, emotional load is too much for one person. I walked slowly toward the camp leader's cabin, staring down at my feet and thinking about nothing. Someone called to me at the square. Hey! Alisa ran up to me. Have you been to the island? Yes. To tell the truth, I didn't want to talk to her about anything, but I already didn't have the strength to lie to her. And how did it go? Doesn't matter. I'm very tired and I'm going to sleep. Come on, tell me! Her face had such a nasty grimace that I shuddered with rage. Why should you care? Well, she murmured in dismay. Mind your own business. I snapped and quickened my pace toward the cabins. Alisa did not try to stop me. Annoyingly, Olga had not returned yet, and I could not find my key. What if I lost it? The only thing I could do is wait. I plopped down into the deck chair and closed my eyes. My heart was heavy, and my soul was being torn apart by vague expectations. From time to time I had a feeling that I was already dead, just without realizing it, and had been thrown into hell. But really, instead of trying to get out of here, I'm spinning on a diabolic roundabout, and it goes faster and faster. I'm becoming more and more involved in the life of this world, of this camp. Well, that wouldn't be really the worst hell. If I ever get into hell, I want to Sovyonok, for real. Sounds better than what the Bible says. Or whichever religious book you want to fill in this blank. Whatever blank says. Yeah, before I start a religious discussion, as if I had no past life, the real one. As if I was always interested in the opinions of others. Damn it, I never cared about it. Why right here? Why right now? I recalled the face of Lena, in tears. Yeah, probably not the opinions of others, but her opinion was the one I cared about. See, that makes sense. I heard far footsteps, and after a while, Olga appeared. She looked at me for a few seconds. Seemed like she was about to say something, but then just sighed, opened the door with her key and went in. I followed her. Shapeless shadows, blurry memories, fragments of feelings and emotions rolled in my head for a long time. For so long that after a while I couldn't tell where I was or what is happening to me. The only salvation was sleep. And day 6? Yes, day 6. Lady, I have high expectations in your route. Don't disappoint me. It's like the last chance we have. But up till now, I didn't really like any ending except the Semyon ending. At least one girl has to have a good, a satisfying ending. And it's you who I chose. I woke up because somebody was shaking my shoulders. It was too hard for me to open my eyes, so I just whined pathetically. Get up already, you're going to miss the lineup. Once I realized what Olga wanted from me and what time it was, I rolled over to face the wall. I was so tired that I wanted to choke the camp leader, just so she would quit disturbing my recovery from a hellish yesterday. Semyon, get up immediately! I mustered up my strength, opened my eyes and sat up. Olga, I understand, but I had a hard day yesterday. Can I sleep in at least today? I started pleading. It's out of the question. Lineup is mandatory for every pioneer. And you've already missed it a few times. My head went completely limp, so I just couldn't find any arguments against that. In a couple of minutes we were already standing at the square. I dozed off, taking great pains to not fall asleep on my feet, so I missed everything that Olga announced. Well, at least this time we have a reason why he didn't catch that they are leaving the day after tomorrow. Oh no, we have day 6, that they are leaving tomorrow. The majority of the pioneers seem to feel the same. Electronic yawned constantly. Alisa had huge baggy eyes. Only Uljana seemed to be full of health and energy, as always. I swept my eyes over the lineup yet again and couldn't find Lena. That's odd. Generally, she's a diligent and committed girl. It's unlike her to miss such events. On the other hand, that was too much for her yesterday. Such stress. She's probably depressed. Or killing people. Although such behavior from her was surprising. I mean, I'd suspected that she was not the kind of person she wanted others to see her as, but I never expected such a drastic change. Lena, amazingly, somehow reminded me of Alisa, even more harsh and brutal at times. At the same time, at least Lena has reasons to flip out. You know what I mean? And now I was not sure how to behave around her. I was simply afraid of her. Finally, lineup was over and the pioneers dragged themselves off to breakfast. By the way, if you're wondering, I mentioned that before. I say way too much, you know what I mean. But if you feel better about it, I also say that all the time in German. It's just a bad habit. I try to work on that. Promised. Miku caught up with me near the canteen. Semyon, good morning. How did you sleep? Any dreams? How are you? Ready for breakfast? She, as always, blabbered without a break, adding a cute smile at the same time. I'm okay, I answered lazily. Today is quite gloomy, maybe because of the weather. It's quite dark, it may even rain, so yeah, everyone is sad and gloomy, though maybe something happened but no one told me what. Can you imagine that? Something happened and everyone knows about it, apart from me. It was sad about it, but then... Don't worry. You won't miss the end of the world. I delivered a snarky remark. Huh? It looked like she was so into her monologue that she was completely oblivious to everything around her. And if you are going to miss it somehow, I will make sure to let you know. Nothing. What? Nothing. Enjoy your meal. Okay, that didn't make sense. I marched to the canteen with a firm step to get my daily portion of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. To my surprise, a seat in the far corner was free. I sat down and tried really hard to make a face that would let everyone know that there is really no need to come anywhere near me, unless there was an emergency. I just wanted to sit alone and think. Moreover, keeping my mind off other things was making me less sleepy. Hi, mind if I join you? I did not notice Slavia standing there. People here are all very sneaky. Strange. Sure, I answered after hesitating for a second. Bad mood? A bit. Did something happen? Not really. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. There is nothing to tell you about. We kept eating in silence until I asked, Where did you go last night? Oh yeah! Yeah, right, I forgot about that. Huh. Well, at least that makes sense. Kind of forgot about that. Oh yeah, right, she was bathing. And then she felt ill and we went to the infirmary. Ah, now I remember. Whoops. Me? Oh, I just wanted to be alone for a while. That's not like you. I felt a bit more lively. Really? Well, maybe. It's also not often that you're seen so gloomy. She might be right. Even the most unfavorable circumstances. I've always tried to have a positive outlook on things. Not that I was an optimist, I just always tried to not feel too down. Keeping my previous life in mind, it's only natural. As soon as you let depression get a hold on you, the news will start to look very appealing. Wow. Perhaps. When Slavia was done with her meal, I was still poking the porridge with my spoon. I'll be going. By the way, have you seen Lena? Nope. Why do you ask? I didn't see her at the morning lineup. That's odd. It's not like her. Maybe you are right. I don't think it's a big deal, to be honest. Yes, of course. I was just wondering. I sat for a few more minutes in place and then headed outside without finishing my breakfast. Today was quite gloomy. The first gloomy day during my time here. If you would have listened to Miku, you would have learned that already. I'd kind of gotten used to the bright and burning sun. The heat that would only subside by the evening seemed to be an irreplaceable component of this place. It looks like even here the weather changes after all. Almost like it's matching my mood. It looks like just more proof that this place or its creators are sentient and have great storytelling skills. Well, I guess at least that is true. Even without knowing what is really going on here, I guess that is true. Sometimes I really wanted to focus on a single theory of mine, concentrate on it, and forget about all others. Just to decide for myself that it's all done by aliens. Or I am in a parallel universe. Or witchcraft. Or military experiments. Just to pick one and be done with it. To stop thinking about all possible explanations to the situation, constantly jumping from one to the other. Just focus on a single. But it's impossible. I have almost no facts about anything. Nothing extraordinary has happened to me here yet. Yes, some odd things took place. They can and do happen in the real world too. True that, true that. After yet another cycle of similar thoughts, I found myself at the bus stop of Route 410 and the gates of the Camp Sovyanok. No answers, no hints, no clues. I was walking wherever my legs were taking me. It was quiet in the residential area. Not a single person there, to be precise. My astonishment grew even more when Electronic appeared around the next turn. I wanted to call out to him, okay, but stopped because he was going a little too confidently in an unknown direction. It's strange. That goes against his nature. Anyway, what can I talk with Electronic about? And yeah, I'd have to start the conversation first. Seems like I was completely in despair. However, it would be interesting to follow him and to find out what he's rushing to. Oh, so we see Electronic hitting on Jigna, I suppose. As a child, I liked games of spies, and here is a chance to put myself into a real spy's shoes. I decided not to sneak and hide in a special way, and just tailed him quietly at a distance. Soon we came to the library. Yeah. Electronic knocked and went inside. I stood behind a big tree so nobody could see me and began to wait. He was absent for quite a long time. Perhaps this is a stupid idea, because in fact, what difference does it make if he went to the library? Maybe just decided to get something to read. He was working fast. So what? Perhaps he has some business afterwards. Or after all, I guess is what you wanted to say. My thoughts were disturbed. Oh, afterwards. I guess afterwards works as well. But of course it means something else. I'm reading shitty today. My thoughts were disturbed by a loud door slam. I really start to think my reading abilities are based on weather. Since it became so hot again, I'm reading bullshit again. I looked towards the library and saw Electronic, running away from there, and Jigna, who ran after him, shouting along the way, "I don't want to hear it anymore, or to see you either." They ran past me, but naturally they were so involved in chasing that they didn't notice me. The whole situation seemed very funny, and I decided that I needed to find out what the matter was. I wonder, where could Electronic be running like that to? Oh. Huh. So do I really need to... Well, I'd go to the clubhouse, of course. On the other hand, I don't really know if that is the right decision. Or maybe I have to go to all places anyway. Well, we'll see next episode, because I'm making a break now. I'll make a going into the cellar and hoping that the weather will soon cool down break. So, possibly for the next week. Huh. Jesus, it's so warm here. And it only gets warmer in the next week. It's depressing, really. Oh well. Thank you everybody for watching. Come back tomorrow as usual for the next part. And I'll see you then. Bye bye.